I got graped by a man I met online on our first date.
First of all, if you're watching this video and you're a victim of sexual abuse or you went through something similar to what these women have to share in this video, I want to tell you that you're strong. I want to tell you you're a survivor. You're not alone. There are so many women who have been through what you've been through. You shouldn't hate yourself. You shouldn't blame yourself. Whatever happened to you, it was never your fault. Stop blaming yourself for being raped.
Now this story is really scary. I got chills. I met this guy online. We started chatting and everything seemed well. He asked me what I did for a living and I told him I was a student. He sent me money and I was so happy, feeling like I won a jackpot. After a month of chatting, he asked that we go on a date because he would like to see me face to face. Nothing seemed off, and of course I agreed. We fixed a date and then he asked me to pick where I would want or love us to meet. He said he will come and pick me on our first date, of which I said no, it was not necessary. I picked a restaurant close by that I was familiar with and he said okay. The day arrived and one of the signs I ignored was that he failed to mention that he was coming with a friend on our first date. It seemed really off to me that he would bring someone on our first date. But he assured me that he met him on his way coming to our date and then he decided to pick him up so that he could tag along. I calmed down a bit and as the date was going on and we all were chatting and everything seemed well, I felt like they were good company because they were engaging me in different conversation. When we were done with eating, he told me he wanted us to go to a hotel, of which I refused, stating that it was our first meeting and it was only normal that we would get to know each other well before any other thing goes on. He didn't argue or said anything. He said fine, that he would like to drop me off since it was getting late. I agreed, seeing nothing wrong with it since he seemed like a nice guy. When we got into the car, his friend joined us. I noticed that they were giving themselves signs and they were talking codedly and in a language that I didn't really understand. The next thing I knew, they started driving me to an unfamiliar road. I was so scared and I asked him where we were going, that he should drop me off in the nearest bus stop I could find my way. He drove till we got to a lonely road. He parked and his friend got out of the car and waited for us outside of the car. At this point, I was already crying and begging because I thought they were ritualists and it was going to be my end. He brought out a gun and pointed it to my face. And then he told me to shut my mouth and do as he says. I agreed by nodding. And then he told me to strip. Too scared to move, I did as he said. He said that if I obeyed him, he would not kill me. With shaking hands, I removed every single thing and was still begging him for my life. When I was done stripping, he had his way with me. When he was fully satisfied, he gave me something that looked like a pill and asked me to drink it. I drank with the bottled water that he offered me. After drinking, I felt a little bit dizzy. But then I noticed that he motioned for his friend outside to come in and then they drove off. They kept driving till we got to a bus stand and then he dropped me and then they drove off. I kept screaming and begging people to help me, but people ignored. I was able to find my way to my house. When I got home, I immediately checked his social media account and I found out that he has deleted every bit of information that he had there. He has even blocked me and he wiped out everything that could lead traces to him. Even up till now, I haven't recovered from the trauma I experienced that day. This story is really scary. Really, really scary.
Sometimes when we don't get invited to house parties, private beach hangouts, shindigs, get-togethers, we start feeling some kind of way, feeling like we're getting rejected without realizing that in many cases, especially in this city, you're actually being saved from a world of hurt and pain. I want to talk about date grape culture in Lagos, particularly what happens before a girl gets date raped and what happens after the fact. Now, there are two places where a girl can end up getting date raped in Lagos. One is at a private beach party, and the second is at a private get-together or a shindig. So here's how it goes down. This girl gets invited to a house party or a beach party, and she only knows one person, the person who invited her. Now, there's a chance that other people who have been invited to this beach party or this house party are acquaintances or she knows of them, but it's most likely that she's only friends with one person at the party, and that is the person who invited her. Now, in most cases, victims of date rape don't know they're about to be date raped, obviously, but in these cases, it's usually the person who invited her, the guy who's going to date rape her, and then maybe 2 or 3 other people at the party who know what's about to go down. Before the date rape even happens, the guy who invited her plus the guy who's already planning to date rape her have already had a conversation about exactly what's going to happen. Every single thing that happens at that beach party or at that private get-together before the date rape happens is pre-planned. Everything that happens after the date rape happens is also pre-planned. So the only person who doesn't know what's going on is the soon-to-be victim. In addition to planning with the date rapist, the planner and the rapist will also work with other people in the group. And usually it's a mix of guys and girls. The reason why rapists recruit girls to work for them is because they know that if their victim, comes out and says, I went to this party and I was raped, they can count on those girls to slut shame her, call her names, spread rumors about her. Nothing is out of bounds for girls in those circles. And they do the same thing with the guys as well. At that point, all bets are off. If you've shared any private information with the guy who invited you, or any of the guys in that circle know anything about your sexual life or your sexual history, they are also going to slut shame you and begin to leak information about you. If you've ever recorded yourself being intimate with a guy you were dating or seeing or whatever the case may be, they will leak that as well. They will pass it around their guys just to make it seem like you're a hoe and you were not raped. You're just lying, like you wanted it and now you're regretting it. This is something that happens every single time with victims of date rape especially. Now you arrive at the beach party, at the shindig, you're really excited. You look around the room and realize that you only know your friend and maybe you know 2 other people there, but they are not your friends. So you realize that, man, I'm the odd one out, but they don't make you feel othered. Like they're friendly to you. Your guy friend gives you a drink. Of course, that's your boy, so you don't even think twice about it. You take a drink, you take another one. And then at some point during the shindig, you realize that one of the guys is moving to you in a very subtle way. He's complimenting you, saying hi to you. He's charming, he's smiling. You're a little bit inebriated because you've been drinking, so your guard is down. And then at some point, you don't clock it immediately, but you notice that people just start to leave the room, right? In the case of a beach party, it's usually at a beach house. You find that people just start to slowly disperse. And then before you know it, it's just you and the guy that is moving to you, standing and talking. Now, this is where things switch. The guy then offers you a drink, or he says, oh, can I make you a drink? I'd love us to talk a bit more. Can we go somewhere private just to chat? You don't think nothing of it. Obviously, you don't know where everybody has gone to. You hear voices, but you don't know where everybody has gone to. If it's in a house, they're probably like in a different room, depending on how big the house is. You accept the drink. You're not thinking anything of it. You have the drink, and then almost instantaneously, you know that there's something wrong. You're feeling a little bit woozy, and then you black out, and that's the last thing that you remember. Now, after the drug has taken effect and you wake up from the blackout, you're going to wake up in 1 or 2 places. One, you're going to wake up in somebody's room in the house, either your friend's room. Of course, it's going to say, oh, I just wanted to keep you safe and away from the party because you passed out drunk. So you're either going to wake up in your friend's room or in the guest room. If you're on the beach, you're going to wake up at your friend's house. So they're going to move you from the beach while you were passed out drunk after you've been raped by either one guy or multiple guys, and they're going to take you back to your friend's house. When you wake up, you're going to be aware that something happened to you, but you're not sure. Now, depending on what you were wearing the night before, you should actually take a look at yourself. If like one item of your clothing is missing, or your jeans look weird, maybe they're not buttoned properly, or your top is off, or you just feel like you're a little bit exposed, You were raped. You were assaulted while you were passed out. That was the whole point. That's why you were drugged. You were drugged so that one guy or multiple guys at that party could take advantage of you. Now, depending on the kind of guys you're dealing with, the guy who raped you could have recorded or taken pictures, or other guys who were involved could have done the same. But again, not all of them do that. Some of them just do it and they pass it around that you gave it up and you had a train run on you at a beach party or at a private party and you're such a whore, and they'll move on from that. But the ones who take pictures and videos will pass it around in their private group chats. Now, when the effects of the drug starts to wear off, your memories will start coming back and you find yourself realizing that you were assaulted. And the first thing you want to do is, raise the alarm, right? Let me offer you a different option, okay? I am pro reporting, but when it comes to date rape, being drugged, sexual assault in this country, you have to move wisely, okay? So I'm not saying don't blow the whistle, but blow the whistle with some wisdom. Now, because there's a post plan after the grape, they are expecting you to reach out to your friend who invited you to say that you feel like something happened to you. Do not reach out to that guy. If anyone from the party sends you a message, hey, we met last night, I had a really great time with you, my name is la 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 la, do not respond, because they're all a part of it. Instead, I would actually advise you speak to your friends outside of that circle, right? And if you don't have those friends, it's time to start making them. Go to a hospital and get a rape kit done. Let the doctors know that you believe you were sexually assaulted and drugged the night before, and you need to test what's in your system, your blood, do a full blood work. This is before you even sound the alarm. After you've done all that and you have your results, then you go to the police and you file a report, okay? Usually when you go to the beach or to a get-together, you take photos, unless they take your phone from you or they say something weird like, oh, no photos, no photos. At that point, you should know that that's a red flag, and anyone who is telling you as an adult that you can't take photos at a party, yeah, you should get the fuck out of that house. But anyways, show photos and be like, this is the guy that I spoke to, this is what happened, these are the results from my rape kit, they found this in my system, they found that in my system. File a clean and clear police report. Then after that, you are well within your rights to go on a public platform like TikTok or whatever else, or you can start to share it more with your friends more openly and say, hey, this thing happened to me, I was raped, these are the things that went down, and this is where I woke up, my clothes were missing, or my panties were gone, or my top was in disarray, or I just felt off, I felt like I can't remember anything. That's when you now start to talk openly. But one thing you must never do is go to the guy who invited you. That is not your friend. You should block him immediately. And the second thing you should not do is reach out to the person that raped you. Whether you guys exchange numbers or not, that is not your business. Do not text, do not call. Just go through the police and hospital first, and then inform your friends and your loved ones before you decide to take it public. So to all my girlies who love to go to the beach, who love a really good private beach party or like a private shindig, try not to accept drinks from strangers, and if you want to drink, make sure you pour it yourself. If you're at a get-together where you do not know anybody except the person who invited you, and there's like an imbalance in guys versus girls, you should actually leave, or you should try not to get too drunk that you don't remember anything.
What would you say is like a tough experience that you've been through in your life, and how would you say that you've overcome it?
When I was sexually abused 1 year ago by my friends, I ended up getting pregnant and having an abortion, and I was kind of left very broken.
Why would they do that?
I'm not sure. They drugged me and they sexually assaulted me.
How do you still have like a positive, like upbeat, energy about yourself?
So actually before I was an atheist, and 6 months ago I met a woman, she invited me out to an event, and I met God for the first time, and it just keeps me going every day because I know He's protecting me.
How would you say is it that God has helped you like get through the situation? Like exactly, like is it that because it provides you that sense of like hope?
It was a lot of just purpose. Like, we're here for a reason, and honestly I think the goal is heaven. There must be so much more than what we are just on earth.
And having gone through this, like what would be your message to like young women out there?
Honestly, don't give up. God loves you so much, and He has a wing over you, and He's wanting to protect you and wanting to bring you home. Get open. Don't hold it to yourself, because if you hold it to yourself, it's going to eat you up. You're going to build up a shame, and you're not going to be able to look at yourself anymore. So just get open. Honestly, it's the best way.
I am proof that you should never stay silent. Today, after 11 months of fighting through the justice system and the court system, the man who assaulted me on February 24th was put behind bars. After everyone told me that no one would believe me, my story didn't matter, the case would get thrown out or lost, it got to a point where I believed them. I believed that no matter how hard I fought, it wouldn't matter. But today I stood in front of the judge and I told my story and what happened, and I told him that right before the incident occurred, the man said to me, "No one would even care if I hit you." But today, in front of the entire courtroom, the judge looked at me and said he was wrong about one thing. Someone does care. I care. And because of that, I'm giving him the maximum sentence for his charge. I can't even explain how amazing it felt in that moment to know that someone believed me and cared enough to help me get justice. I was told by damn near everyone in my city that he gets away with everything. And the sad part is I told myself, walking into that courtroom today, that I was probably gonna lose and that I was almost at my giving up point. The system is so broken and it screws over a lot of people, but this made me realize that there is a glimmer of hope in there. If you are a woman who has ever been a victim of any kind of abuse or assault, I want you to hear me when I say your voice deserves to be heard. I believe you, and I want you to fight for the justice that you deserve. And if you can't, or you don't want to, that's okay too. But if you do want to, do it boldly, and do not back down. I hope he learns from this, and most importantly, I hope he heals. Because hurt people, unfortunately, hurt people. I'm just glad that someone finally believed me.
Okay, so I promised myself I would talk about how I got sexually assaulted before I turned 20. I turn 20 tomorrow, right? I am coming to you guys as a survivor, not a victim. Like, I survived that scenario. I am not a victim of it, right? I was sexually assaulted by someone I never intended, never wished to be sexual with, right? I was 18 at the time, and here's my story again. So with sexual assault, there's a lot of types to it, right? It can be forcing someone to engage in sexual or oral sex, unwanted touching. There's just a lot, but I fall under the unwanted touching, right? It happened 2 years ago, but it still feels like it happened yesterday, right? Why? Because I suppressed the feeling so deep in me to the point where I wanted to forget. I wanted to forget that someone actually thought they could control my body or thought they could do whatever they want with my body just because in that moment I froze. It is not your fault that in that moment you might have froze, you might have kept quiet, because in that moment your brain as well as yourself, you're shocked that someone's actually evading my privacy and actually doing what they want with my body. And in that moment, you don't think you're really strong enough to fight back, right? So sexual assault is one of the most underrated trauma anyone can go through, because you never stop thinking of what I would have done or what I would have weighed. But it all ends with just knowing that you did nothing wrong. It does not matter the amount of clothes you wore. It doesn't matter if you were enjoying it and you wanted it to stop. As soon as you wanted it to stop, it should have stopped. I'm addressing this to myself, that I am a survivor, and I know there's so many people in the same situation, right? There is so many people in this situation that feel as if the person that did that horrible thing to them took a part of them. I believed for the past 2 years that on the night that I got assaulted, that person took a part of me. Meaning, I tried to be the person that I was before everything happened, right? And the sad reality was that that person that didn't get assaulted, that Andiswa that didn't get assaulted, does not exist, right? It doesn't mean the Andiswa or the person that did get assaulted should be in pain the whole time. You should never live your life in pain, or you should never let someone else control your life. You only have one life.
Do you all know the amount of women that are being raped in marriages? You know, the idea of because they've married them, so they think that they can do whatever they want or to the women. A lot of women that get raped in marriages are the ones that are being abused in marriages, because he will beat you black and blue and at night force himself on you. He's beating you with bruises, blood and stuff, and at night this monster will force himself on you and sleep with you, and he would justify the rape that he's just raped you as, well, I'm your husband, so I'm entitled to your body. The idea of a man thinking he's entitled to do anything to you and your body in the name of he's married you and paid your bride price. Do you know how many women are being raped in their marriages? Hey, when people talk about the abuse and you don't have anything positive to say, shut up. Just shut your mouth.
Today we're going to talk about a very sensitive subject when it comes to trauma and PTSD, and it's about sexual assault, and specifically the after effects of sexual assault when you've been assaulted or raped by someone that you know or have met on a casual acquaintance kind of level. When you've been assaulted by someone that you know, or it was like a date rape, someone that you know well, it is very, very common that you will kind of doubt yourself afterwards, minimize it, say, oh, it really wasn't that bad, didn't really happen, maybe I did give consent. Well, I did give consent, but then I took it away, so does that mean I actually did give consent? There's so many complicated layers about what happens in the brain afterwards to try to discount it and minimize it. You may even stay in relationship with someone who has assaulted you or raped you because we want to just so badly think in our own minds that didn't happen, it couldn't have happened. So we find ways to rationalize and kind of make it okay. Here's the thing. If you drop into your body and you think about what you're wondering, what you're doubting about, the assault, did that really happen? The rape, did that really happen? When you drop into your body and get out of your head, what does your body feel? What are the effects? Are you dreaming? Are you feeling uncomfortable, unsafe? Do you start to feel anxiety, tension, fear in your body in certain situations? Our body knows. Our body, our cells have the truth. When we're in our head, we will discount, minimize, change the story, but our body knows the truth. So I just really want to encourage you not to doubt, to really trust your body. Now that can be a process, learning how to trust your body. However, this is just about the whole kind of natural process of the self-doubt, minimizing what has happened to you. And I just want to say what has happened to you, you feel it in your body, it's real, it happened, I'm sorry it happened, and you can definitely get support and help and healing for what has happened. So if you have questions, I'm Dr. Leslie Goss with Denver Family Counseling Services. I specialize in trauma, and if you have questions, if you have more you want to talk about, let me know. See you next time.
All of these dating apps, social media in general, is a hunting ground for predators. They come online looking for women to prey on, looking for young women to prey on. They'll slide into your DMs talking about, I really like you, I want to get to know you, lure you, and take advantage of you, invite you over. This guy will come into your life pretending like he wants to get to know you, when the whole game is to rape you. The whole purpose is to take advantage of you, is to sleep with you. And these men, there are so many women who will go on dates with a guy they met on a dating app or a guy they met on social media online. Maybe she was communicating with this guy on WhatsApp, Instagram, or Facebook, and before she knows it, she goes on a date with this guy, he drugs her and takes advantage of her. Before she knows it, she visits him and he rapes her. In the course of their communication, he's pretending to be interested in her when in the back of his mind, he just wants to rape you. These men are predators. They go into the streets, they look for women, they prey on women. If you're weak, if you're vulnerable, they'll take advantage of your vulnerability and they'll rape you. As a woman, you need to have strong boundaries, and that's why I'll tell each and every one of you to have strong boundaries. Let your standards be so high. Not every guy should have access to you. You need to stop replying every DM, especially from strange numbers, from people you're not sure of, from people you don't know. I don't care if it's a friend of a friend. I don't care if this guy is a client. I don't care who he is. If this is someone you don't know so well, don't trust them. You shouldn't reply them. You're not entitled to reply this person. If you're an entrepreneur, that is different, but it should be solely on business basis. If this guy is inviting you to come over, wanting to lure you to meet him in a private environment and you're uncomfortable with it and you don't know him so well, or he's a total stranger, don't. I don't reply every DM. I don't reply every message. I ignore. and you need to start learning to ignore DMs, because some of them are test traps. Some of them are traps that are being set by these men who want to take advantage of you. When you're dealing with men, you have to be extremely very careful, because there are men who invite you over to their apartment to rape you, to take advantage of you. These men will call you to come visit them in private environments, in their crib, when all they want to do is rape you. And they will do this because they know no one will believe you, since it happened in his apartment, and people are going to question you like, what were you doing at his place? Why did you go to visit him? What were you wearing? They will ask you all these questions. That is why they want you to come over to their crib, so that they can do it, and they know you're not going to report to the authorities, because society will blame you for going to his apartment in the first place. People are going to judge you. Why did you go to visit him in his apartment? It's not right, it's not fair, but they will judge you for it. There are men who have taken advantage of women, and these men have told these women, even if you report me to the authorities, no one will believe you, because you came to my apartment. And they are going to ask you, what were you doing in my apartment? They will ask you, what were you doing in my house? A lot of men have done this to women. They will take advantage of the fact that you are scared of reporting them, scared of being stigmatized, scared of being judged, and they will use these things to scare you. They will use these things to intimidate you, so that you shouldn't report them. These men are doing this on purpose. They are doing this deliberately. Some of these men will take advantage of you and try to gaslight you and make you feel like it's not rape. They'll make statements like, I raped you, but you came to my apartment. You were in my home. You were the one who came to visit me. So how did I rape you? How was it rape? You wanted it. Some of these men will say you wanted it because you came to visit them. This is what they do. They try to manipulate you and gaslight you into thinking that you were not raped. Or they will manipulate you into not reporting them to the authorities, because they want you to feel like you're not going to have evidence to disprove them. You're not going to have evidence to expose them. These men will even go to the extent of slut shaming you to their friends. They will rape you and go and slut shame you to other men, just so that if you come out to expose them, nobody will believe you. Everybody will call you a hoe. Everyone will call you a slut, just because they raped you. They know what they did to you, and out of fear that you're going to expose them, they go on a smear campaign, bringing you down, tarnishing your image, making it seem like you wanted it, even though they raped you. This is how evil some men are, and you guys need to be very careful. A lot of women have been raped in this way, by their dates, by their boyfriends, by men they trusted. There are women who are getting raped in marriages. Women who marry their husbands are taking advantage of them. You're dating a man, or you're married to a man, he comes back home, you don't want to do it, he forces you and tells you, after all, you're my wife, so if you're my wife, it's not rape. So long as you said no, it is rape. So long as you refused, it is sexual abuse. And don't allow any man to gaslight you into thinking that whatever he did to you, you wanted it, just because you didn't have enough strength to fight back, just because your no wasn't loud enough. As they like to claim, you didn't scream enough, you didn't shout enough, you didn't refuse enough, you sounded like you wanted it. Sometimes a girl could be saying no, but maybe she wants it, and they do it. They will want to convince themselves that they didn't take advantage of you. They also want to pretend and act like you wanted it. They want to convince you to think that you want it. It is manipulation. Any man who puts you in this situation is manipulating you. One thing I want you guys to know with men who are abusers, men who rape women, they always want to convince themselves why you deserve to get raped. They want to convince themselves so that they can be able to sleep at night and tell themselves, oh, she deserved it. Oh, it's because she's a hoe. Oh, it's because she's an escort. Oh, it's because she wore something short. She came to my apartment. She seduced me. These men will create whatever delusional story in their heads to feed their lies, to feed their delusion, to clear their conscience, so that they can be able to sleep well at night, to convince you, to convince themselves that they are not a rapist, or they are not an abuser, even though they know deep down that they are an abuser, even though they know they are a sex offender. They want to convince themselves that they didn't do it, that somehow you wanted it. Some of these men are very cautious of what they do. They know what they are doing, especially men who have low self-esteem, low self-confidence, men who have a problem with their dick size. They want to go into the street raping women. Men who have been rejected by women, they have a rejection problem, and because these men are angry that you rejected them, they orchestrate a well masterminded plan on how to rape you. Maybe he texted you online and you didn't reply his message, or maybe he tried to ask you out and you rejected him. Now he looks for a well masterminded plan, or he looks for another means on how he can rape you, on how he can take advantage of you. He's coming with a plan, he's coming with a purpose, because he's angry that you didn't want him. So now he wants to use force to get whatever he wants from you. to sleep with you, to get in between your legs. He's vindictive towards the fact that you rejected him. He's vindictive towards the fact that you didn't want him. Now this guy stalks you, rapes you. Some of these men will go to any extent. Some of them will purposely do things to win your trust. And when they win your trust, they see that you trust them and you've let your guard down. Now the real mission they came to accomplish, they go ahead and rape you. This is what men do. This is what they do to women. And I'm saying this because a lot of you don't know this about men, but they do these things. It's not every guy who slides into your DMs that deserves a conversation with you, because most of them are just looking for praise. Have strong boundaries and don't give access to every man to come into your life, because some of these men just want to experience you. Some of these men don't have good intentions. Trust me, they are coming with evil intentions to manipulate you and take advantage of you. You guys need to be careful. There are evil men out there who look for women to purposely abuse these women, to purposely break these women. They have a target. They prey on women who are vulnerable, women who are insecure, women who are naive. Some of these men even go after strong women because they find pleasure abusing these women, breaking these women, taking advantage of these women. So you need to be careful. We need to stop protecting abusers. We need to start calling them out, exposing them, and protecting other women so that these men don't abuse these women, so that these men don't go into the street and cause more damage. Because when you protect an abuser, you're helping him and you're enabling him to do this very same thing to another woman. We live in a society where abusers are taking advantage of the fact that society protects them. And this is the reason why a lot of rape cases are not being reported. So many rape victims don't come out to expose their abusers because society will stigmatize you, society will judge you, the authorities will ask you stupid questions like, what were you wearing? A lot of rape victims don't want to go through all of this trauma. The trauma of the rape itself is already too much, and they don't want to go through trauma of going through the investigations process and being stigmatized and judged by society. So most of them don't even come out. Most of the statistics of rape cases are not the true statistics of rape cases because most rape victims don't even come out to expose abusers. So besties, we've come to the end of this amazing video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Drop your thoughts in the comment section, drop your experiences, drop your advice. I'm dying to see them, and I'm going to see you guys in my next video. Bye, love you.